Welcome in, guys, to Sensei and the Pupil. I'm Craig. I got Dan with me.
Hey guys.
We got Paul floating around.
Hi.
And today, you saw the thummy. We're breaking down ID Invaded. Ching! Y'all saw the thumbnail. Y'all know what you came to see. Has any of y'all ever seen ID Invaded? Anybody in the comments, in the like button? That makes no sense. Have y'all seen ID Invaded?
I didn't hear you say anything.
I didn't hear it either. And you made a great decision. I'm just kidding. No. We watched an anime that pretty much replicated
Kind of Psycho-Pass?
Psycho-Pass. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
It's like a version. It's like a different version of Psycho-Pass.
It was like a Psycho-Pass sister. Like it was
Right.
parallel. It was almost
could have been a spinoff, really.
It could have been a spinoff. I mean, they had a little gun that could identify people's emotions at the time.
Yeah.
They had like the whole system where they had like
and they had like actual convicts go inside the people's minds instead of like the police.
You got to use the bad guys to find the the other bad guys. Yeah, all that bullshit. Minority Reporty.
Exactly.
All that good stuff.
Well, have you ever seen The Cell with Jennifer Lopez and that other guy that plays Kingpin on Daredevil? Well, it's the same thing. She pretty much goes into their subconscious, and it's crazy because like their subconscious obviously is not the same as like ours might be, but there's like sadistic and stuff. It's pretty good.
Like Inception type shit. Because Inception 2 was a big one.
Yeah, Inception.
Probably.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, Dev, what's the plot of this thing? Good luck. Just maybe the overarching
So it's about a detective, right? He was the main character.
He was a detective. Yeah.
He was the main character.
He was.
It's about a detective searching. Yeah, dude with pink hair, Sakaido. He's trying to solve a murder in each of these subconscious that he goes into, these wells that he goes into. So the truth on finding the overarching bad guy called
John Walker.
This
is in Japan, by the way.
So in order to figure out who this guy is, they have to solve the murder.
Right.
So this is just him going through different people's wells.
Correct.
Trying to slowly solve this murder, you know, and figure out who John Walker is.
Yeah, he's like the big bad that
he's responsible for a lot of bad in their city.
Seemingly, he kind of created every serial killer, and they almost gave all the serial killers names too. Like there's the Arm Twister.
Yeah.
There's the Challenger. What other ones were there, guys? Y'all remember? There was the Grave Digger.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool names.
The name
Arm Slicer.
Cool names.
The Arm Slicer. Like some of them were like just obvious.
I thought a child was naming these.
The Challenger, dude. The Challenger.
The Challenger.
No, that one actually was cool because he was beating his people to a pole.
Yeah, exactly.
He beat him hand to hand. That
fight was badass. That fight was
pretty cool. Grave Digger.
But okay, not really so much the Grave Digger or the Arm Chopper or the Leg Taker or whatever. Yeah, some of those were a little bit. He likes his feet. Like it's the foot thief or whatever. You know.
Right. Well, so in kind of delving into the story a little bit more, Sakaido, the detective. That's his name inside of wells, inside of people's consciences. This device that was seemingly found only a few years before this anime, like in this anime world, is called the Mizuhaname. And basically, it can let you go into murderers or crime committers' minds and consciousness to figure out why they did it and who they are. Okay,
right. and catch them, hopefully.
Yeah, and to catch them, like Devil was saying, but every time you go into this, your consciousness becomes a great detective. Okay,
that becomes your persona.
Yes, yeah. Better way to put it. Your persona is a great detective. Sakaido's real name is Sago, and he was a murderer.
Yeah, well,
inside these wells,
he actually used to be a cop as well, a detective, and then he went off the board, and
he did, and that caused a lot of own trauma and stuff.
But happened to his family,
because of the murder. He can go inside the wells. You have to be a murderer to go inside the wells. That's the only way.
Right.
And apparently also another caveat, if you go inside your own well and then you find out inside your well, you'll never be able to escape that.
You find a well inside your well?
Storm, the well storm.
Yo, this anime took so much from Inception, from freaking Minority Report, I need to check the date on this. So this is like all of these are not original ideas. I don't think there's a single original. Well, except for the girl being the machine.
Right. That was kind of original. Kind of.
Stupid as hell too. Anyways, let's get into this thing. Ball. What is your favorite thing, moment, scene from ID Invaded?
All right. Well, if I had to choose one thing that I enjoyed from this anime, it had to be one person, one killer in particular, called the Perforator, whose real name was Fukara.
Big Perf.
And, yeah, big Perf.
Yeah.
But he's just like this cool looking guy with a big old hole in the side of his head, little silver mohawk. He has silver hair, so you know he's gonna be cool.
What was your initial thought when you saw Fukuda? Did y'all think of a similar character to him right when you saw him? Nobody saw Obito.
Kinda the hole. I
Obito?
guess the hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Obito. Like, yo, we got the hole. We got the weird circles.
And he has lazy eyes, which means like he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's just like carefree.
Yeah. When the Japanese people have like the cool the lazier kind of eyes, they got some shit cooking. They're not no scrubs. Yeah.
So I thought he was cool, and throughout the whole anime, he continued to like just impress me. He even when he was locked up, he was locked
favorite
up.
Moment
like,
or your favorite character?
He's my favorite character overall.
Okay. What was your favorite moment?
The fact that he saved the whole anime. Like if it wasn't for him, and towards the end, they would never have even.
Hot take.
I mean, he was a body that was sacrificed.
So I agree with you as a hot take because I agree with you. Fukuda was the most important part of this whole show.
He was. Without him,
agree too?
Without him, you wouldn't have had these other serial killers.
Bro, he found the other whale within the whale. Like he was the point man, dude.
And the fact that he was able to actually retain his memories as a great detective was like just sick to me. That was like sick.
And his sickness is even sicker. What was it called? Numerology or insomnia?
Yeah, something with where you can't stop seeing numbers, and that's why he drilled a hole in his head. And it just that was sick. I thought his character was really really well done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, cool moment, Paul. Dev,
you go ahead.
Okay. So I think my favorite moment in this whole show, it was probably whenever her name is now Hondo Machi, the young girl who's like the other main character in the show. She's going through her things and she got a little tip of her head drilled in by the perforator. So just a little bit of her brain was touched by that. So it kind of affected her a little bit. Cool. She had a little bit later had a chance to go inside the well after some things happened, and she actually killed someone. She went inside the well, and she was inside of Sakaido's memory, with all the numbers on the ground, the lightning. Okay, she figured everything out, all of that, everything, the whole puzzle, without dying once. And every single detective that's gone in there, even Sakaido, will go and will die after the first few well trips.
Fukuda died like 20 times.
Yes, Fukuda kept dying. Sakaido had to take some time to get used to not dying, and he would still die. She never died once inside any well. I felt like I was watching the birth of the next Sherlock Holmes.
Right.
Like Hijiri, whatever her name was so cute. And she was so cute in her little like coat with the little under part with I don't know, just so cute. She figured that shit out. And I love that scene. I love that whole episode. That was great. I know. It's me. Dev, do you agree with me? Is that your take?
Yeah. So pretty much you just said what I was going to No, I'm just kidding. No, my favorite part's whenever Sakaido gets to take on the challenger in hand-to-hand combat. It felt like he was getting what he deserved. He didn't necessarily, I wouldn't say that he necessarily won.
No, the challenger though. What was his significance to Sakaido?
So the challenger, he killed his family.
Yeah.
So
he made his wife and kid fight him, I assume, or somebody else. I don't know, but
then they fought each other or something.
Maybe I wish they would have got more into that. I wish we could have seen.
I think they fought each other, and then, or no. I think he made them fight each other, and then when the mom didn't want to and killed herself, I think he fought the daughter.
Little kid. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of her. Like, bro.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
When you see what he did to the dad, you can only imagine the damage he did to the daughter.
All right, this guy was an elite MMA fighter, and he fought to kill. You know, that's what he was about. He had this like little gladiator ring inside of the basement of his house where he would just stick people down there, and they would either fight each other or he'd fight them, and it was always to the death. And you find out that he's the guy that is responsible for the main character. What's his real name?
No, Narihisago.
Narisago. No, so he's responsible for the killing of his family. So when he got a second chance to confront him, because the first time you find out that he just shoots him right away, and that's how he ends up getting his killing. He had opened the door.
Right after he kills the family, but this time he goes to him before.
Yeah, this time he goes to him before, and they have like a small little squabble. You know, I
get his ass whooped.
They were both getting their ass whooped, and he had a gun also. You know, which was bullshit. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is judgment. You know, this is the way that he probably deserves to die.
His daughter didn't stand a chance, so it shouldn't be fair for him to fight the dad.
Bro, those little pot shots he took on his legs and all that was clean as hell. Like he kept like just real quick.
This is real quick, like no shame. I love that actually. I probably would do that, like no shame. Fight me, you know.
I know when he pulled the gun the first time, it was like, okay, this is not. I thought it was gonna be just hand to hand, you know.
He just shot. Guys, what did we not like about this show? Okay, what was our biggest gripe?
I'll go first real quick.
Go ahead.
Just okay, all the terms that you had to like look up just for a second, like all the little cuts you'll see in this video, you look up terms and stuff. That's what I didn't like about this anime. The fact that they threw all these terms at us, like the Naharazago and all these like Tsukiyomi, like different like little terms for the gun, for the actual device that they're using, like all these ID well, like all this detective, like all these little terms. And
so you felt overwhelmed with information?
No, it's not even overwhelmed with information. It's just they
didn't explain the world enough.
Well, they didn't explain it from the get-go. Like they just threw you into something and said, hey, this is how it works. This is how it's gonna work from now on. So this is what you got to go for it. You know, like you don't get the explanation until the last 2 episodes. Oh, it's a girl and her experiences with spirits and the spirits of killers. That's why they can see everything inside the machine. Oh, last 2 episodes. Thank you.
Well, I don't mind when anime does that. You just have to do it well. You have to do it well. You have to do it well. And they did throw a lot of shit at us. Like the first 3 episodes, I was kind of lost for a little bit. And then I started to catch on. Okay, Mizuha anime is this. Okay, the Kura is the division. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, they did Okay.
Who's the second detective? The blue hair guy.
It was Fukuda.
Yeah, Fukuda. Yeah. Hey, I didn't like how
What? Don't you dare.
I didn't like how they did his character.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. No, so he was the villain at first, right?
Yeah.
And he was ready. He was ready to kill.
Okay.
You know, and then they made him into a good guy.
Okay. Well,
you know, he was a good guy. Okay. You know, yeah. By the end of it, he was a good guy. He kind of sacrificed himself. No,
he did sacrifice himself. Yeah,
for the right person, though.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like. I mean, I guess his character progressed, but
you just can't get over that first part.
Yeah, I mean, he was a pretty big dick. You know, in the beginning, he was a sadistic dude. Just drilling holes in people's heads, and then I guess he felt a greater calling to.
But he drilled the holes because he wanted to help the people.
Right.
He wanted to help them see what he saw. So he wasn't doing it for evil. He was just doing it because he's like, I gotta force them to see what I see. You know.
And then whenever finally someone
selfish
themselves, and you got
crazy selfish. He wanted the whole world to be like him with a hole, because he always asks, how does it feel? How's the hole feel? What does it sound like?
And then so like that character flip right there, I don't really like that. And then also the girl detective, I didn't like how her character, where she was a rookie one scene,
and then kill her the next,
and then the next scene she's like a straight cold-blooded detective, like
that knife move is like elite level move. You don't just do that out of nowhere.
This is fucking already. No emotion on your face either.
Yeah.
Dude, she just became like this badass detective. Like she's been doing it for like 10 years, and she's like the top guy in the whole entire agency.
Dude, right? She called out. She knew the killer was gonna come out of hiding if she
Yeah.
like faked her death, so she shot right beside her and said, "Oh, I know he's still here." Like, dude, I thought he left because when I saw him leave the screen, I was like, "Oh, that dude split real quick," but he never left.
So I think my biggest pushback is just they did mention that she got perforated to her cornea, like her cortex of her brain. So I think that changed her whole trajectory in the show. I really do. I really do. I really, really do. Because you're right. She was a little prissy, little scared person before the drill. Then after everything, I'm attributing it to that. If she would just the next episode after nothing happening, she's become super genius. I'm with you. But something happened to her, traumatic, and we don't really know the effects.
And that just makes her into like the best detective. Like who would like why didn't they start drilling holes into like all these guys' heads? You know,
maybe they will now. Maybe Fukuda's legend will live on. What I didn't like the most, and we'll wrap this up here because we are taking kind of long on this trash anime. What I didn't like the most was the fact that the Mizuhaname made no sense. The whole machine that allowed them to go into wells was actually a young girl who could never fall asleep without being murdered in her sleep by serial killers.
Right.
Even so, they gave this one girl in the whole world a special power, okay? And that power was to be killed by murderous intent people. Okay, cool. I'm with you. She's got the power. It's an anime.
Right.
You take this girl, you make her into a machine. That makes no fucking sense with the technology.
No.
That makes no fucking sense, bro. Makes no goddamn sense. She has all the power of total control of this power in the machine. But outside of it, she has no control?
No.
Makes no goddamn sense.
No. It's not even the fact that she doesn't have control. It's that she puts everybody to sleep. The only way that it can be contained is in the machine. Like she can still use the powers. You can utilize it for good by finding out serial killers and where they're located and what they're doing right now.
Okay. How do you create that kind of technology with her power? That's my problem.
Ask Jack Candy. What's his name? Ask him and the scientist who he killed.
That was my biggest gripe.
John Carpenter knows everything, dude. He knows
John Walker.
What happened.
It's a Johnny Appleseed. He's
all right, guys.
Ask him. You can't because he's dead.
Yeah, and there's no point even bringing it up because it's never gonna get watched again. We got guys. Who's our favorite character?
Just for that, I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm just one.
I'm going for Fukuda. Favorite character, Paul.
Yeah, Fukuda.
the main detective.
Sakaido,
yeah.
He was great too. He was great too.
No, I choose John Candy.
Okay.
Like, dude, the fact that he like went from like just a regular serial killer that's addictive, and then he went to like the chief of police and said, "You know what? I'm gonna make them do whatever I want, and at the end, I'm gonna become immortal."
And can I also just say this, dude? Like, it was so obvious who the bad guy was.
Yeah,
it was so obvious. Like the pictures that you saw of the bad guy.
Yeah.
And then like right when you see who you think the bad guy's gonna be, you're like, okay, well, who else could it be?
So they show glimpses of John Walker throughout the season, like just little pieces of him, but his face always blurred out. But he had white hair and a slender body. He's kind of tall fellow. There's only one guy in the whole show who looked like that.
You saw the mustache and sideburns too, and I thought that was a dead giveaway. I was like, dude, you see his mustache? That's
episode
him.
Episode 3, dog. I was like, oh, that's
John Walker, dude.
It's your boss. I was like, it's your boss, dude.
Yeah, but nobody else can figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your favorite character was who was it? Sakaido.
Sakaido, yeah.
What are we rating this thing, guys?
So, with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. I was actually able to watch it probably like I think either 2 or 3 sessions. Okay. You know,
yeah, that's good. That's good. That's how I look at it too. If I can binge it and just want to binge it, I like it.
So, yeah, it needed a little bit more explaining. You know, on some of the stuff. I feel like if it could have really just like gave us a little bit more information. I would have been a really well done anime. I wish it would have been more suspenseful on some of the stuff. Maybe tease the John Walker's identity a little bit more, you know, and not just have a character.
Maybe not let us meet the chief till last episode.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll give it a 7. Okay. It was good. I would actually watch season 2. So
Paul?
Real quick, I'll give it a 7 as well.
I mean, it's
It was
all
decent.
right.
If they would have, like Devin said, if they would have held the reveal of the chief, like maybe have him in a shadowy office, you can't see his form, like giving orders, like make what's his name go back to the well, like just have him be a shadowy figure. Maybe second season, maybe reveal him like, oh yeah, I'm actually an old man and like I'm innocent or whatever, and then have him pop out and do something. But it was good, like had the killers were cool, even though the names were whack. Perforator was cool, Challenger.
Perforator
All
was a
that.
cool name. Yeah.
Yeah, not the
Um,
arm taker and all that.
I'm gonna jump in and give it a 6.
I mean, it's
I was
all
kind of right there in that
like-
7, 6 range. The story just didn't hold up for me, and especially near the end, it just halfway through the season, it just lost all credibility.
Nah.
Kind of once you started realizing that, oh wait, the machine might be a girl. So I was like, okay, what the fuck? And I really like the characters a lot, which is probably why I'm not giving it a 5. I like the characters a lot. It just felt kind of.
Bro, you don't like
Give it a 7.
sci-fi. You're a hater.
I want to give it a 7, but it's more of a 6. Guys, we are.
You're more of a hater.
I am a hater. I'm Cray. I'm with Dev and Paul, and we out of here.